tokens.
8% of all monies are actually cash money, and I think what he's saying is it's going to zero.
That's not true.
Go ahead.
That's not true. It's way less than that. You're talking about printed money, M1 supply.
That's what
cash is a very, very small percentage of the digital printed money, which happens at the central bank level, right? Through repos.
Makes sense, but let's go back to the topic at hand. I think it's fine to challenge the
stack here. I think the hybrid model makes sense to me. Again, the majority of the capital in the world is controlled by large asset managers. If they wanted to be involved in the crypto space, they would likely want to trade it by derivative products, perhaps not even ever owning or physically custodying the underlying. So a dual system makes sense to me, and I think we need to be more specific on understanding the difference between utility and security tokens to really make that distinction going forward.
That's great, and I'm going to make another bold prediction, which is sort of public sale, crowdfunded ICOs are largely a thing in the past. Long live venture capital. Anyone want to take a crack?
I think one part of this, I think venture capital does provide more than just money. They provide advice, they provide knowledge, they provide introductions to channels, sales channels, and so I think it is important to realize that you get more than just money with VC investment.
I do both VC investing and ICO crowdfunding. I don't think it's going to go away. Crowdfunding is very popular because VC funding, as it traditionally stands, and getting capital, investment capital under the traditional methods is regulatory burdensome and very difficult. It also doesn't fit into the new sharing economies of today that we want to bootstrap these networks with a lot of users. Crowdfunding in general, starting with rewards-based crowdfunding in the US and in Europe, to equity-based crowdfunding with the Jobs Act and some of these other things that are happening, all the way to ICOs today, they serve one really, really good purpose, and that's to cross the chasm for a lot of these tech startups. They innovate, create new technology that's really disruptive, but that they don't have a community to actually use this product. And so commercialization, you have like 90% of these companies failing. With an ICO, you can crowdfund to a very large community of individuals who support your network from day one, and they're voting with their money. So you bootstrap and you kind of jump over this chasm and get through, you like sort of pre-validate that you can commercialize your product. So
I think there's validity there. I think there's validity there, but I do think there's also a lot of danger there, right? So I think that there will be people that are suckered by marketing and not really able to diligence things properly. So going on to the last little topic I want to say is, I'm going to assert that retail banking is due for disruption. There will be an emergent player that's going to bring another 100 million crypto wallets, and I think that player is not going to be based on fiat banking. It's going to be based on crypto banking, and it's going to be based on mobile wallets. Any challengers?
Yeah, I think there's been very little innovation in the retail space over the last 50 years, and it is due for disruption. In the future of finance, I think the key is finding the balance point between decentralized and centralized.
That is definitely a perspective. I guess my view is any other kind of cracks at future of finance, any hot takes on insurance or any other financial services?
I think in the short-term future, what we're going to see is a movement of the blockchain and crypto space more towards our legacy financial systems. Right now we have single unit at brokers, right? You're going to have a mirrored system to what we have in an existing retail system today. Unfortunately, in certain jurisdictions, the regulators are very far behind. In Korea, for instance, this is a Korean conference, it's illegal for any of the banks or brokers to deal with cryptocurrency or blockchain-based investments until the Korean regulators can get their heads around the controls that need to be in place and what the laws need to look like, right? So short term, I think we're going to see a mirrored financial system, but just using a lot of blockchain technology in the back end to help facilitate trust. But in the future, way out, maybe 10, 20, 30, 50 years out, I believe we're going to move to a fully decentralized infrastructure around payments and trust networks with smart contracts and things like that.
Fantastic. Last word, Franz?
Yeah, and I also think that we will see the value of total derivatives explode because digital shares and digital tokens allow you to be way more creative in how you engineer financial products, and I do see that we will see the value of derivative products increase even further than where it is today.
Excellent. And I do think that as we see asset-backed tokens entering into the exchange marketplace, you're going to see an inflow of about $10 trillion worth of assets moving into crypto. So I think the overall size of the crypto economy will be much larger. I think that will be much more stable. And I actually think the time horizon that Brad proposed is too long, which is, I think, we'll be there by 5 years. Because I think that we're going to see central banks, not of the strongest countries, of the weaker countries, the central banks will be incorporating crypto assets to further shock absorb. And to
Weak ones are controlled by the IMF. We tried.
Yeah, but the IMF is actually going bullish on crypto. So watch for the IMF to release a cryptocurrency. Thank you very much.
네, 파이낸스의 미래라는 주제로 패널 디스커션을 진행해 주셨는데요. 타이 중화화가 아주 큰 이슈인 것 같습니다. 다음 순서는 골드 스폰서십인 네이트 3의 제이크 본님께서 발표를 해주시겠습니다. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.